Not the kind of silence that brings peace, but the heavy, aching kind that sinks into your bones and whispers that something precious is slipping away. Joel sat on the floor, back against the wall, Lily in his arms. Claire knelt beside the bear, her hand hovering just over its fur. She hadn't touched it yet. Couldn't. Not now. The bear's breaths were uneven, shallow with long pauses between them. Each exhale sounded like a creaking door gently closing on the world. The heat from its massive body had waned, replaced by a chill that even the blankets couldn't fight off anymore. Lily didn't cry. She just watched. Her little fingers gripped her father's jacket, and her wide eyes stayed fixed on the bear. There was no fear in her face, just something deeper, something ancient. Joel whispered, "We should take her inside." Claire nodded, voice hoarse. "She'll cry. She'll understand." He stood slowly and kissed Lily's forehead. Claire took her gently, whispering soothing words. Lily whimpered once but didn't resist. She looked over Claire's shoulder, one last time, at the bear lying still on the floor, and then she said, soft and clear, "Bye-bye, Beh." The bear didn't move. The rescue team arrived just after noon, crunching over the melted snow and ice patches that glistened in the returning sun. The road had finally cleared enough for their van to make it through. 2 wildlife officers and a vet stepped into the garage with controlled urgency, gear in hand. But the moment they saw the bear, everything slowed. One of the officers knelt, checking vital signs. The vet followed, examining the bear's limbs, eyes, tongue, breathing, what was left of it. She turned to Joel, solemn. "He's gone." Joel exhaled, his shoulders slumping like the truth had finally crushed the last bit of adrenaline in his system. "He passed just a few minutes ago," Claire whispered, while Lily was still watching. The vet nodded, respectful. "It's almost like—" He waited. They did a full external exam. The bear's left hind leg was shattered, likely from a vehicle impact. Several ribs were broken. Its paw pads showed signs of frostbite, and internal bleeding was evident from the bloating in its lower abdomen. "Judging by the injuries," one officer said, "he must have been hit on the road, days ago, maybe longer, wandering since then. Most bears in that state never make it this far." Joel frowned. "How far do you think he came? Could be 10 miles, could be 20. But what's strangest—" He paused, gently parting the fur along the bear's neck. There, nearly hidden beneath the thick coat, was a faint ring of lighter skin, a barely visible depression. "A collar scar?" the vet asked, surprised. The officer nodded. "Yep. At some point in his life he was tagged. Could have been a rescue or research bear." They exchanged glances, curious, puzzled, but reverent. Joel looked down at the animal again, his heart pounding. He'd come here on purpose. The family decided the bear deserved more than a removal truck. He hadn't died like just any wild animal. He had chosen them, found them, and left the world in their care. So Joel cleared a space beneath the tall pine at the edge of their yard, the one that always caught the morning light. The wildlife officers helped carry the body, wrapped in canvas, and they dug deep into the thawing earth. Claire held Lily's hand as they stood near the fresh grave. The baby was quiet, somber in a way no one expected from a child that small. When the last shovel of dirt fell, Joel wiped the sweat and tears from his face and stepped back. Lily pulled free from Claire's grasp and toddled forward. She clutched something in her hand, small, colorful, worn, her favorite stuffed animal. She dropped it gently onto the mound, then knelt beside it. "Bye-bye, Bea," she whispered again. A breeze rippled through the pine needles above. Claire clutched Joel's arm, and no one said a word. In the days that followed, something subtle began to change. It started small. A pair of mourning doves began nesting on the edge of the porch roof. They came closer than birds usually did, unbothered by humans, always peering through the window when Lily played inside. Then a stray dog appeared at the edge of their yard, muddy, gaunt, and wary. Joel brought out food once. The next day it returned and never left. It curled up every afternoon just outside Lily's play area, ears perked, watching her as if guarding something precious. Claire began to notice a pattern. Wherever Lily went, animals followed. Squirrels darted down tree trunks to approach her. Crows perched on fence posts and cawed only when she stepped outside. Even a fox was spotted lying in the sun at the far edge of the yard, eyes closed, tail flicking, utterly calm. It was as though the natural world had begun to shift around her, to notice her, to protect her. Then came the reporters. At first, it was just local news, curious about the story of the family who housed a dying bear. But when they heard about the baby, about the nights she spent beside the animal, the footage Joel had captured, it spread like fire. National networks picked it up. Online forums exploded. One headline stood out, "The baby who comforted a dying bear." Clips from the garage security cam were aired. A still image of Lily curled beside the massive beast became iconic, shared across social media, used in fundraisers for animal rescue groups, even printed on shirts. Everyone had theories, empaths, animal spirits, old souls. Some said it was coincidence. Others called it divine. Scientists weighed in on bear behavior, explaining how extreme trauma could lead to unpredictable interactions. Animal psychologists speculated that Lily's lack of fear may have prevented the bear's aggression, that her calmness was the key. But the spiritualists saw more. She was meant to meet him, one said on national television. He came to find her. 3 weeks after the burial, Joel reviewed the home's security footage again, this time from the external driveway camera. He froze. There, in the gray dawn light, was the bear, limping, bleeding, exhausted. It staggered out of the woods, its steps weaving as though it could collapse at any second. But then, at the edge of the front lawn, it paused and lifted its head, not toward the road, not toward the trees, straight at the house, straight at Lily's window. The footage captured the bear holding its gaze for a full 5 seconds, and only then did it take its final steps to the porch and collapse. Joel watched the footage again, then again. There was no doubt. It had come seeking her. Spring arrived quietly. The snow melted into soft patches of green, and the grave beneath the pine became a bed for blooming wildflowers. Lily had just turned 15 months. She was walking now, wobbly and determined. Every morning, she made her little circuit around the yard, always ending by the base of the tree. One morning, Joel followed her. She toddled through the grass, arms outstretched for balance, the dog trailing a few feet behind. At the grave, she stopped. She didn't kneel this time. She didn't place anything on the mound. She just looked up, at the sky. Then she smiled and waved. Joel blinked back the sudden sting in his eyes. A soft breeze danced through the trees above, rustling leaves and bending branches ever so gently. The dog's ears perked. Claire stepped out onto the porch, watching silently. For a long moment, the world stood still. And then, Lily giggled, as if something had waved back. Final line. Some say she saved the bear. Others say the bear saved her. But one thing was certain. The bond they shared would never be forgotten.